Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you for joining me today. My name is Aisha. So I did get a request to film a video on how I take and edit my Instagram photos, so that is what we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to talk you guys through my setup, my camera and everything that I use to take my photos, and then I'll show you guys the editing process on my phone. Also guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, I will leave my Instagram name in the description box down below. I'll just give you like a sneak peek up here on the screen. So here is my Instagram. As you can see, I like to do a lot of creative eye looks and also like full face creative looks because I just find it so fun and like very artistic, I guess. It's like my form of art therapy. So yeah, here we have like a wide range. You can probably see that I haven't like figured out my actual like Instagram photo place and everything like that. I tried a few things along the way. Here we have like some Christmas makeup looks from December 2019. The time is literally just flying, like even in quarantine, the days are just going by quickly and faster. Don't even know. But yeah, if you guys are interested, then follow me on Instagram. And now we're going to get into the video and I'm going to show you how I take these photos and how I edit them. So firstly, I use my Canon 700D DSLR camera, which I think is kind of like an old model. I think Canon has like released a lot of new models after this. There's like the 800, 850. There might even be the 1000D, I'm not sure, but I've had this camera for like 3 years now and it's still going strong and I absolutely love it. And when I do take my photos, I usually just hold it in my hand because it's got like a viewfinder which you can see yourself. Like you can put it back when you're taking photos of other things or people, and then you can like twist it around so that you can see yourself when taking the photos. So yeah, if I'm using my tripod, I can like just pick it up like this and then just do photos like so, or yeah, I just put it in my hand, but it is quite heavy, so a tripod is a good idea if you guys want to start filming videos especially, and also like for taking photos because it means you can use your hands and your hands are free to like do whatever you want. So I'm just going to show you guys on my phone quickly. I do have the iPhone 7, so the quality is not the best, but I'll show you guys my setup and like put it on the screen somewhere. So you guys probably can't see that much because the lighting obviously is coming from this side, but this is where I put my camera and I have the tripod. I usually do sit in front of the window because obviously I like the natural lighting. So this is what it looks like, my camera over here. And let me just turn it around. So yeah, I used the setting on AV up there. I don't know, I'm not a photographer. And I sometimes change like the contrast or no, the exposure just to make it brighter if it's kind of dark outside. And you can like change other things. I have a timer on, so when I'm taking photos, there's like a 3-second timer before the photo actually takes. Great explanation, but yeah, so that is my camera. So yeah, like I said before, if it is daytime and it's light outside, I usually just take my photos in front of the window with natural lighting. I don't use any artificial lighting for this. And also sometimes I go outside onto the balcony just because I have a white wall on my balcony, so it looks much more clean and crisp. But if I do makeup looks in the evening and obviously it's dark outside, I usually use my SOFTBOX, which is like a square kind of light thing. I used to have two because I feel like it gives much better lighting because you can have one coming this way and one coming that way. But one of them broke, so I've been just like using one just right in front of me. I'm gonna show you guys 1 second. So this is what the SOFTBOX looks like. I'll link them for you guys down below. I got them off Amazon and they are, I think, like the most affordable artificial lighting I could find. A lot of people use a ring light, but I decided to use a SOFTBOX. I sit next to the wall or in front of the wall and I put the SOFTBOX in front of me and then I just take pictures with my camera in my hands. As I said before, on the Canon you can adjust the exposure. So if it's too dark, you can just like amp up the exposure. Actually, I'm going to do that now because it looks a little bit dark now. So as for how I actually take my photos, I'll show you guys how I'd usually do a full face photo and how I do an up close eye photo when I'm doing just eye makeup. So as it is daytime outside and it is bright, I have decided to come out onto my balcony. And what I usually do is like tilt my head upwards and then just zoom in on the eyes. Let's hope that it's focusing. Sorry about this eye makeup, by the way. It's just like a grungy look. I couldn't be bothered today. So yeah, what I usually do is like tilt my head back and then I raise my eyebrows just because that makes it easier to see the lid, to see like any shadow that you've got going on. Obviously today we probably don't want to see the lids because they are a mess. But yeah, I usually just like tilt my head back a little bit, just look into the viewfinder or look on the right of the camera, and then I just take photos like this. And then sometimes on this side I do the same, but I look to the left of the camera, and that's basically it. I like it because it has a white background out here, so that's good. As for my full face photos, I do exactly the same thing, just zoom out and kind of like do different angles. What I do is I take like 30 pictures, maybe even less, until I'm sure that I'm happy with at least one of them. And I have an SD card in my camera, which I connect to my laptop, and then I send the pictures to my laptop. I check through them all, I choose one or two that I think are the best, and then I send them to my phone where I start editing them. So now I'm gonna show you guys how I edit my photos. So let's go to my screen. I'm gonna like put it up here somewhere, I guess. Okay, so once I have the photos on my phone, I usually go first into FaceTune. This is the original FaceTune, not FaceTune 2. I don't know if you have to pay for it or not, but if you do, I think it's only a few dollars or pounds or whatever your currency is. So yeah, today I'm going to do a close-up eye photo. I'll show you guys how I edit those. So I'm going to click on the photo and use maximum size because otherwise it could like reduce the quality. And now you've got the photo. I usually like zoom in and I press on the smooth tool. Be careful with this tool and make sure you only like tap on areas that you want to smooth, because if you swipe it can get a bit like fake and plasticky. So make sure you don't do it too much. So I usually just go around my eyes because apparently I'm getting wrinkles, and then also in the middle here under the eyes because it looks kind of wrinkly, and if you have any texture you can just smooth that away. I wish there was FaceTune for real life. Okay, so when I'm happy with the smooth, I'm just going to click the tick on the top right corner. And now we're going to go into the shadows and the highlights. So first we'll start with the shadows. I usually click on tones. I do click on tones. And then where the palette is, you can choose your color. So I'm going for black. And I usually go over, the lash line, like the upper lash line, just because sometimes you can see the gap where your natural eyelashes and falsies are or whatever. So I just want to like darken that a little bit. And I think I'm happy with that. If you do too much, you can just go on erase and like tap areas that you want to erase. Okay. Now for the highlights, again, tones. And then I'm going to the white, and I usually just like tap it on my cheekbones just to intensify the highlight a little bit, and also maybe on my nose, and also in the center of the eyes, like the inner corner, and maybe even a little bit on the brow bone. I just think that highlights, maybe for some people this is too much editing and it might look kind of unrealistic, but I just love the look of it. I think that the highlights really like emphasize the eye look. Okay, so we've done that. Maybe on the cheek I did a bit too much, so I'm just going to erase a little bit. Okay, and then I like to emphasize my eye color, or maybe like change my eye color. It's the same thing as wearing contact lenses, I guess. So we've got here the eye. I'm going to tones, and then I'm going to the picker tool, picker. And what I do is like zoom into the eye and click somewhere on the eye to get like the tone. And then I go right up to like the highest, lightest colour in that tone. And then just like kind of dab on the eyes. Again, if you do too much, you just go back in and delete it, erase it. So yeah, looking a bit too fake. So I'm just going, sorry, on erase. And then just like dimming it down a little bit, just so they look kind of glassy. I like that effect that it gives. Okay, and then I think sometimes, like if you haven't filled your brows in very well, you can maybe go in and with the picker tool choose your eyebrow color like this, and then the tones tool, you can just fill them in a tiny bit, but I don't want to do too much there. Oops, notification. And then the last thing that I would do, or no, two things maybe. If you can see, there's like a little bit of a discoloration under the eyes, and that really annoys me. Obviously, I do have discoloration, like bags, blue, black bags, blue, black bags. Say that 10 times fast. So I just go to the picker tool and then like pick a spot near where that discoloration is, or the darkness, whatever. And then go into tones and just like dab slightly over the discoloration, and so I think it looks much better. Maybe a bit too much. I don't want it to look too fake, which maybe to some people it looks very fake, but I kind of like it. So now that we've done that, oh, maybe three things, sorry. I like to go into the details tool, and then just over like my eyeshadow or whatever I have on that day, like for now we've got a glitter, and also on the lower lash line, just kind of emphasizes the colors and the glitter especially. So yeah, let me see before and after. So yeah, just a tiny bit you can see there, so just tick there. Oh gosh, we're looking very different. I've edited it a bit too much, but I mean, this is before and this is after. But I didn't edit the actual eyeshadow. I think I maybe put too much white on the brow bone, which did edit it a little bit too much. But oh well, just to do what you like, what you think looks good, and try not to make it too edited. Okay, and then the last thing, if you can see, like the background is kind of grey-ish. Sometimes I really like a white background, so either you can go into tones and then just choose the white and like start colouring the background, although this can look kind of fake, but that's one way I do it. And the other way is, if you have a white background already, like a white wall or whatever, go into the whiten tool, which I think is meant to be used for your teeth. And then just kind of like rub your finger on the background and it kind of whitens it up a little bit. Okay, and if it's not good enough, just press the tick and then whiten again. And as you can see, every layer gets whiter and whiter, so you just do this until you're happy. If you go onto your face, just erase, just there, like so. Okay. So, I mean, when I put it on Instagram anyway, my background is going to be pretty much covered up, so I'm not too worried about that today. So, once you're done and you're happy with how it looks, I usually go onto this button here, save to camera roll, and then it should save. Okay, now we're going to go on to Instagram. And then here we have the photo. So if you want to adjust, maybe we're going to turn it a little bit, I don't know, whatever you want to do to your photo. And then sometimes I just adjust the brightness. Well, this one I maybe might make it a bit darker just because I'm so pale and I kind of get washed out in the natural daylight. Maybe some contrast, not too much. You can do this, I think, on your iPhone too. The warmth is a good thing for me because, as I said, I'm super pale. So this kind of brings some colour back into the photo. and sometimes saturation, but not too much because I can look like an orange. You can even do some highlights, just like wiggle it around a little bit. Shadows. I mean, I'm quite happy with how it is. And then obviously you can post your photos. So that is basically what I do for an up close eye photo. So yeah, this is how to catfish 101. I mean, I've said a million times, some people think that it's cheating or whatever, but I just like the look of that. It might give like maybe unreal beauty standards, but every brand does it. I mean, I know it's really bad, but the beauty standards these days are just so high. So do whatever you feel comfortable with. Like, don't edit your photos at all if you are really confident with how they look. I just like to emphasize it, and it's like a fun process, editing, taking photos and everything. I kind of find it like an art project, I don't know. So yeah, I hope you guys found that helpful. If you do want to see how I do my full face photos and like how I edit those, it's not too much different, but we don't really like focus on the eyes so much. We focus a lot more on the skin. If you would like to see that video, then you can just give this video a thumbs up and maybe comment down below. So yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button down below along with the notification bell so you are notified every single time I upload. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.